All right, what's up, sports bettors? Matt Moda here with OddsJam. And what I'm going to be doing is just doing a little bit of a betting preview on a couple of the big games for the March Madness tournament, obviously. So just going to be giving you a betting preview. In this game specifically, we're looking at Providence versus Kentucky. Obviously, using OddsJam, using the completely free line shopping tool to go into these games. So first things first, I want to talk about the odds. Then I will get into the analysis of the matchup itself. Number one, no surprise here that Kentucky are the pretty big favorites here. They're best offered on the money line at minus 165, and that is at Bet Rivers or any Canby book, which is like Bet Rivers, Barstool, Unibet, and TwinSpires. And then on the Providence side, best offered at plus 160 at Bet 365. Now, what you want to do when you're sports betting is compare the odds of what the sharp sports books have and then kind of see what's best offered from there. In this case, Pinnacle has Kentucky at minus 180 and they have Providence at plus 152. But if you click this little button here to remove the VIG, it shows that Pinnacle has the no VIG odds at minus 162 and plus 162, basically telling you that there's no positive expected value play on the money line. Looking at the spread is where things are a little bit more interesting. Kentucky is minus 3.5 point favorites on WinBet and all the way up to Providence being plus 4.5 at BetMGM, DraftKings, Betway, and Bookmaker. So right off the bat, we see that there's actually some pretty good value if we look at Kentucky minus 3.5, which I will get into. There's also some value on the total itself, on the over 144.5, just looking at the value, minus 108 on WinBet. If you look at the other sharp sports books and where they price this at, BetOnline has this a full point higher at 145.5. Bookmaker has it half point higher at 145. Pinnacle has it half point higher also at 145, but they heavily favor it going over at minus 113, the under at minus 107. So not only does Pinnacle have the over a half point higher, but they also favor the over at that number. And then the other fourth sharp sportsbook is Circa, has this a full 1.5 points higher at 146. So right off the bat, I'm in on the over in this game. If you look at the matchup between these two teams, so Kentucky is ranked 28th in terms of KenPom, like overall KenPom, but they're 14th on offense. They have a top 15 offense in the entire nation with their defense all the way down at 71st. So they're significantly better on offense than defense. And if you look at Providence, it's the exact same thing. So Providence overall is ranked 44th in terms of KenPom, but they're 16th on offense and all the way down at 108th on defense. So both of these teams are very good offensively. Both of them struggle defensively. So right off the bat, I'm in on the over in this game, over 144.5, minus 108 odds at WinBet. If you don't have WinBet, you can also get it at minus 110 at FanDuel and PointsBet. But the logic of why I like the total, I talked about both teams are good on offense, both teams are bad on defense. But the most important thing is the value here, right? All of the sharp sportsbooks have the over priced above this number, with some of them even favoring it above the number. So the 144.5 is an awesome play. In terms of my official prediction for this game, I mentioned that I'm in on Kentucky minus 3.5, and I'll explain exactly why. First, let's talk about the value. BetOnline has them at minus 4, favors them at that number, has them at minus 112, at minus 4, with the other side of that at minus 108. Pinnacle has Kentucky at minus 4 as well. Now, admittedly, they don't favor Kentucky at that number, but they still have this main line priced a half point better than what we are getting it at minus 3.5, right? We are locking it in on WinBet at minus 3.5. Pinnacle has it at minus 4. Bookmaker has it all the way up at minus 4.5. And then Circa has it at Kentucky minus 3.5. But look at how heavily they favor them, right? Like if we remove the VIG on this play, we see Circa prices it all the way at minus 115. And we got it on WinBet at minus 108. So there are a lot of mathematical reasons why Kentucky is the play here. Obviously, I mentioned Kentucky is higher rated in terms of KenPom. Now, obviously, KenPom and just analytics in general aren't everything, but they're better on offense than Providence. They're better on defense than Providence. They're better overall. And the 3.5 point spread here represents some pretty good value. So Oscar Tshiebwe has kind of had a weird year after having an incredible year last year, but he's coming on a lot better recently, as is Kentucky as a whole. So I do like Kentucky a lot in this matchup, as well as the over. So official plays from Providence versus Kentucky is Kentucky minus 3.5, minus 108 at WinBet, and the over 144.5, also minus 108 on WinBet. And that's it. So if you're tailing these, comment and let me know. Thanks for watching.